Hello student, welcome to the lecture on conversation skills, and after this lecture we will be able to learn the following objectives. Explain conversational skills, describe how to maintain etiquette in a conversation, describe listening skills and type of listening skills, describe speaking skills. Introduction to conversational skills. Let us start with conversational skills. Conversation is a form of interactive, spontaneous communication between two or more people who are following rules of etiquette. Let us learn some simple rules on how to converse. A conversation starts with a smile and a small talk. Conversation need not be lengthy to the extent that we tend to impress rather than express. One should always use strong words to make the speech lucid and honest. Using tough words may confuse the listener. Making an eye contact with the person we are talking to create a very good impression. Listening is as important as speaking. One should always be polite in a conversation. Be consistent with the topic. Do not create a cloud of confusion by switching topics. Learning how to converse and learning conversational skills are two different things that both need to be mastered. Let us learn some conversational skills. If the host is busy, introduce yourself and say hello and smile first. Be polite and maintain this trait. Ask in a pleasant way, not as if you are investigating. Ask proper questions related to the topic. Do not waste time by changing topics. Keep the conversation short. Maintain eye contact during the conversation. Listen and do not monopolize the conversation. Be knowledgeable. One cannot participate in a conversation if he or she does not know much about the topic. Learn to read or interpret body language. Act confident. Now let us learn some rules to maintain etiquette in a conversation. Keep your words simple and understandable so that your message is clear to the listener. Ensure each word is understood. Explain yourself clearly and be ready for questions. Interrupt only when needed. Politely ask questions so that the person does not have to explain it all over. Do not talk to impress. Never use deep meaning words to impress the listener. Rather use simple words and express better. Assess your listener interest and personality. Speak only when your listener is interested. Communication is not aimed at passing time, so it's important to have a meaningful conversation. Let us learn some quick tips on how to have a meaningful conversation. Be genuinely interested. Conversation is a two-way street and both people should be interested in talking to make a successful conversation. Make the other person feel comfortable. Talk frankly and gather trust so that the person can talk to us freely. Listen carefully. If we are not listening, the other person may not want to talk further. Give the other person time to think or speak. This will make him come up with better ideas that make a conversation meaningful.
What are you thinking, Zubin?
I am thinking about celebrating New Year Eve.
Where do you want to go?
We can watch a movie and then go for dinner in a good restaurant.
We often do it. There should be something special at New Year Eve.
Have you thought anything?
Want to go to a disco where we can dance and eat a delicious dinner?
I talked to my friend at Hilton Hotel to arrange a pass for two of us. But he said it is too late now. There is no pass available.
You should have talked to him some days ago.
I forgot due to workload. We can do one more thing. We can go to Freedom Boating Club to enjoy boating. After that we can go for dinner.
No. I am not interested in boating. I have one more idea.
What is that?
We can arrange a party at home. We can invite a few of our friends and have fun. There will be music, dance and a fine dinner.
But if you get busy in preparing dinner, how will you enjoy the party?
We shall order ready-made things.
Then let us finalize this program and prepare a list of friends whom we want to invite.
We shall not spend the whole money. Everybody will share. Party can be at our home as we are having a big drawing room.
Yes, I agree. This is the best program.
Listening skills. Now that we have a basic understanding of conversational skill, let us move forward to listening skills. Listening is the ability to accurately receive messages in the communication process.
Hello class, my name is Natalie Jones. Thank you for letting me speak with you today. I will be answering all questions at the end of my presentation.
Why are you speaking today?
I will be addressing tonight's subject on older adults with cognitive impairments.
I am so glad. Because my grandmother, my aunt who is my father's sister and my grandfather on my mother's side have all had Alzheimer's.
1 in 8 adults have Alzheimer's or other diseases causing dementia. The number is expected to increase with the graying of our population worldwide.
In my family the rate is higher than 1 in 8. Plus my cousin in Montana and his wife have Alzheimer's, so does his sister.
Tonight's information may help you as we look at ways for people with impairments to navigate and use their home.
What kind of environment? Do you mean like interior design?
Yes, I will be discussing interior environments and changes that can be implemented.
But I just want to know.
I appreciate your enthusiasm. Perhaps you could hold your questions. I will stop throughout my presentation to get feedback from you and your classmates.
I want to know what I can do with my mother's father's sister who keeps leaving the house. One day my family found her down at the local grocery store in her pajamas, overcoat, and sandals eating items throughout the store. The store called us and told us not to worry about the food she had eaten. That was really nice.
I will discuss some design ideas to use to keep people from wandering. Let us get started. I believe my presentation will cover your questions.
She is one of the reasons I am taking gerontology. I was thinking about going to Sacramento State after ARC. I think studying gerontology will be easy for me as I am getting so much experience caring for my family members already. I do need to make money though. My uncle runs a restaurant. He offered me a job but I hate waiting on people. Are you going to talk about how much you earn? And how someone can do what you do? My mother is really good at designing. Maybe she should do what you do.
Could I ask you to assist me in class tonight with distributing handouts at different times through my presentation?
Sure, although I have to leave class exactly when it ends because I promised my mother to help out with my grandfather.
Perfect. Let's begin.
There are 12 types of listening, starting from basic discrimination of sounds and ending on deep listening. Discriminative listening. It is the most basic type of listening where the difference between various sounds is identified. Biased listening. It happens when the person hears only what they want to hear, misinterpreting what the person wants to say based on the stereotypes and biases. Evaluative listening. In this kind of listening, we make judgment about what the other person is saying. It is also called critical judgmental or interpretive listening. Appreciative listening. In this kind of listening, we seek information that we will appreciate. Empathetic listening. When we listen empathetically, we go beyond sympathy to seek a truer understanding of how others are feeling. Therapeutic listening. In this kind, the listener has the purpose of not only empathizing with the speaker but also to use this deep connection to make the speaker understand change or development in some way. Relationship listening. This happens when the most important factor in listening is in order to develop or sustain a relationship. False listening. This occurs when a person is pretending to listen but is not hearing anything that is being said. Initial listening. This happens when we hear the first few words and then start to think about what we have to say in return. Selective listening. This kind involves listening for particular things and ignoring others. We thus hear what we want to hear and ignore extraneous detail. Full listening. This happens when the listener pays close and careful attention to what is being said, seeking carefully to understand the full content that the speaker is seeking to put across. Deep listening. In this kind, we listen between the lines of what is said, hearing the emotion, understanding the body language, detecting needs and goals, identifying preferences and biases, perceiving beliefs and values, and so on.
important skill, but most often ignored or deliberately under lives of listeners.
The sleeper seeks a restful haven in a quiet hall, no intention of listening, irritated if the sleep is disturbed, reclines in the state, ready to go off to sleep. His face reflects his state of peaceful sleep. Relax, seems to stay awake, but sleeps down in his chair, resting his head on the back, stares fixedly at some object or person. Little tension never seems to react to anything, a real problem for the speaker. The tiger, ready to pounce on everything the speaker says, occupied with looking for trouble, has a crouching position, leaning forward, eyes flashing with the alertness of a big cat, silently growls when he hears something he does not agree with. The frowner, forehead has a perpetual furrow, seems always on the verge of questioning, takes attention. Eager beaver, keeps smiling and nodding, eyes have a strange, out-of-focus appearance. Energies are directed to impress the speaker with what a good listener he is, a real beast. Bewildered, has never been able to find out what the lecture is all about. Confused, paint glasses from him are a constant reminder to the speaker that he must go slow, very slow. PCB listens and presses by writing notes, dancing with neighbors, sneaking glasses of magazines, cleaning fingernails, combing hair, and so on. A potential auditor intelligence tries various devices to capture the speaker's attention. Third listener listens with ears and mind, actively participates, reacts to objects.
Speaking skills. Let us now move on to the next part of conversing, which is speaking. Speaking is described as an interactive process of constructing meaning that involves producing and receiving and processing information. Like listening, speaking also has a number of sub-skills that need to be developed for efficient speech. Speaking intelligently using appropriate word stress, sentence stress, and intonation patterns, narrating incidents or events, real or imaginary, in a logical sequence, presenting oral reports or summaries, making announcements clearly or confidently, expressing and arguing a point of view clearly and effectively, expressing or responding to personal feelings, opinions, and attitudes, participating in spontaneous spoken discourse in familiar social situations. Our next topic is assessment of speaking. Pronunciation refers to the ability to use the correct stress, rhythm, and intonation of a word in a spoken language. Pacing refers to talking in a speed that gives the listener more time to hear and mentally process our words and think about what we are saying. Fluent speaking. Fluency is a speech-language pathology term that means the smoothness or the flow with which the sound, syllables, words, and phrases are joined together when speaking quickly. Loudness. It refers to volume. If we speak loud enough, it helps listeners to understand us even if we speak with some accent. Clarity. Clarity comes with fluency, emphasis, pace, volume of our voice, and pronunciation of words. Confidence. Confidence comes with comfort in speaking and loudness of voice. We should always speak normally, not with the motive of impressing others. Naturally. While speaking, we need to sound natural, which means we know what we are trying to speak. Skills for expressing ideas. There are certain skills that one must learn if he or she needs to express efficiently. Let us learn these. Vocabulary. This refers to the words we use. We must know how to choose the best word while speaking so that the impact created is more. One can use idioms and phrases wherever possible to make the speech attractive. Stress on syllables. This is an important aspect of speech, hence we should know which syllable to stress on. Pitch. A balanced variation in pitch can make us sound more confident, inquisitive, or humble. Proper word order. Usually several word orders are okay, so we have to choose the best one. When speaking, our sentences should be shorter and simpler than when we are writing. Summary. Now in the end, let us summarize what we have learned in this lecture. A conversation starts with a smile and a small talk. One cannot participate in a conversation if he or she does not know much about the topic. Communication is not aimed at passing time. It is important to have a meaningful conversation. Listening is the ability to accurately receive messages in the communication process. Speaking is described as an interactive process of constructing meaning that involves producing and receiving and processing information. There are certain skills that one must learn if he or she needs to express efficiently. Vocabulary, stress on syllables, pitch, proper word order,